Maybe you know Donald Trump for his companies and businesses that since 1971 have already begun to increase their assets. Buildings, offices, casinos and golf courses are some of the many activities of the company, in addition to the emblematic Trump Tower in New York, its participation as a shareholder in the beauty pageants Miss Universe or Miss USA. But Donald has many facets. Trump is best known worldwide as the 45th President of the United States, controversial and nationalist. His television personality has given whatever. Talk about, love him or hate him, you know Donald Trump. Whether you are a Republican or a Democrat, you have to recognize that Donald sees incredible greatness in America, and promises to take it to the top by betting on the nationalism of an entire country. Many vote for him and support him because of his ambition to lead America to greatness, though many others dislike his policies and views. Some close associates and members of the press claim that Trump will announce his presidential candidacy again this summer. Now Trump and his advisors are preparing his 2024 bid, launching his bid after the November elections, as major party candidates do. In his own words, Trump assured his supporters that he would take back the White House and the House of Representatives. He seems to have made up his mind. Other influential people in American politics claim that such a candidacy will not happen. Others are adamantly opposed, such as Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who has said that the most important thing is to protect the nation from Donald Trump. Donald has many points against him when it comes to his 2024 presidential bid, but his ambition is strong. His family members say the investigation into the January 2021 Capitol attack puts Donald in a bad mood, and he has set his sights on a comeback. If anything characterizes Donald Trump's government, it is nationalism and American traditions. He highlights its history and its power over the years, and according to him, it was losing that essence that it still has, and only he can revive. Civil rights are something important in the United States. Every citizen in America is born knowing their rights and respecting them, and this has led to the problems that their nation continues to have, such as the use of weapons and racial discrimination, from their amendments to protect them and give them freedom of expression and civil liberties. Latino immigration for Donald Trump is a threat. The problem is that today a part of its inhabitants are foreigners. Americans being Americans, using their civil rights on Capitol Hill. The violent event occurred after a demonstration where Trump gave a speech. He had previously tried on several occasions to overturn the election results for alleged voter fraud. With the furious Donald Trump conveying to his nationalist supporters a sense of injustice and rebellion, the rally ended with an attack and a raid on the Capitol, where the vote count was held, giving the presidency to Biden. Trump supporters seized the Capitol in the midst of the debate over the Arizona Electoral College vote count. The building was subsequently vacated and protesters suppressed by security who had to draw their weapons. Several buildings were blocked and one protester was shot and later died in hospital, in addition to 3 other deaths at the scene. According to reports, 3 improvised explosive devices were found, one on the Capitol grounds and another at the offices of the Republican National Committee and the Democratic National Committee near the Capitol. In the wake of such an outrage, Trump did not let up on his claims that Biden's victory should be rejected as fraud, and after a video was released he asked his supporters to leave the Capitol in peace, claiming that he loved them and that they were patriots, for defending the nation from him by reiterating that they are the party of law and order. The assault on the Capitol was labeled an insurrection, sedition and domestic terrorism and self-coup, resulting in Donald Trump's Twitter and Facebook accounts being blocked. On January 7, 2021, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Minority Leader Senator Chuck Schumer called on Vice President Mike Pence to formally invoke the 25th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which would prevent Trump from exercising the powers of the presidency. Polls show that a majority of Americans do not agree with the seizure of the Capitol and another percentage do not blame Trump. This episode in history is certainly not conducive to Trump's re-election in 2024. During his 2017 to 2021 presidency, Donald Trump was impeached twice. On February 9, 2021, the trial began, accusing the Donald of inciting insurrection and claiming that he had orchestrated the seizure of the Capitol while Congress made Biden's victory official. The gray areas of this trial come to light because they intend to try a president when he has already left office, since the trial began a week before he left office. Although they cannot indict him, they can prevent him from returning to political office, very inconvenient for Trump's plans for 2024. Trump's lawyers were David Schoen and Bruce Casto. After many law firms rejected the proposal, in a week before the trial he stuck with the team he already had because of discrepancies in the defense argument and fees. The chamber had to vote 2/3 in favor to convict Trump, who was finally acquitted by 57 votes to 43. It seems he is innocent, can't try a president who is no longer around. Trump had already been indicted for the first time in 2019. Charged with abuse of power and obstruction of Congress over the Trump-Ukraine controversy. According to these allegations, Trump and his lawyer Rudy Giuliani sought compromising information from Joe Biden and his son and pressured the Ukrainian president to investigate. Apparently in a phone call between Ukrainian President Zelensky on July 25, 2019, Trump makes it known that there is $250 million that Congress approved as aid to Ukraine and that it would be delayed until September of that year, thus demonstrating the alleged pressure. Regarding the use of foreign intelligence on his opponents, Trump said, "I think you'll want to listen. I don't. There's nothing wrong with listening. If somebody calls from a country, Norway, we have information about your opponent. Oh, I think I'd like to hear it." Pretty incriminating, isn't it? Joe Biden was vice president during Obama's presidential term and they were trying to provide diplomatic support after the Ukrainian Revolution ousted then-President Yanukovych, which is why Biden regularly visited Ukraine and his son Hunter Biden became part of the board of Burisma, one of Ukraine's largest gas companies, and with Biden being the main U.S. representative in Ukraine, rumors of conflicts of interest increased. Now Ukraine is at war with America's sworn enemy, Russia, and Trump claims to hold the key to winning the war. According to audio obtained by the Washington Post, Trump told a group of Republican donors in New Orleans that the U.S. should paint Chinese flags on its F-22 planes and then use those planes to bomb Russia. And then we say, China did it, we didn't do it, China did it, and then they start fighting each other and we sit back and watch, Trump concluded. Although Donald was acquitted in his last trial in 2021, his charges are under investigation and there are many organizations behind him to prevent his candidacy, either for his actions of inciting violence or for his statements about war, which according to his record, the charges against him could be serious. Donald Trump is the Republican frontrunner for 2024, despite all that is stacked against him. And his intentions to run are still rumors. Although he intends to do so and his ambition is strong, the opposition and anti-Trumpers will not fail to remember these facts. The war in Ukraine has its precedents and US and NATO international politics have more influence on the outcome than we thought. It is a deep and complicated issue. A few years ago, Ukraine's current president, Zelensky, was arrested by Trump, which led to Trump's impeachment in 2019. Trump tried to smear Biden to win the election and Zelensky tried to trade arms to carry out the revolution, but Zelensky could only get these things if he announced that Ukraine was investigating Biden for corruption. During Ukraine's People's Revolution in 2014, the pro-Russian Kiev government was established, headed by President Viktor Yanukovych, who managed to install a Western-leaning government. Trump sided with Putin when he invaded Crimea and said the rest of Ukraine will fall pretty quickly, so he wants to fool them today by sending US planes with Chinese flags? What is Trump up to? The ice cream of war has been served for many years as this is an internal conflict between Crimea and Ukraine, but the US has long been putting in the spoon by sending military aid and weapons, yet the former president seems to be siding with Putin, which would further complicate his re-election in 2024. That's all for today. I hope you liked today's content. Subscribe to the channel if you are interested in international political news. Give us a like if you like the video and share it with your friends. Leave a comment. Would you vote for Donald Trump? Thanks for watching the video. See you next time.